My name is Walter, and you have come to Walter Doodles Art. I thank you for that. If you like this video and we're done, if you would, like, share, subscribe. Please leave a comment if you would. I would appreciate that too. I just was given a gift, and in fact, because of this, I'm interrupting another video that I was recording, and I'll get back to it, but it'll come out after this one. I sang at an event that a dear friend of mine, Kari Drost, she has put together a meeting and asked if I would sing at that meeting. So I sang a few gospel songs. And this last week she brought over kind of a thank you gift, I guess. She didn't tell me what it was specifically for, but that she saw it and she thought of me. And it's this little notebook. It says, "A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step," and that's right in there. It's leather bound, and it's got some, the leather tooling on it. It's held together with these leather straps. Really pretty thing, and a little strap that holds it all together. But it's the inside. These spinal straps, I think, hold these together. It's a little separated, as you can see, into sections, but it's the paper that's intriguing. At first I thought maybe this was watercolor paper, but I look at it and I don't think so. It feels about the same weight as, say, a 140-pound cold pressed, and you can see that it's got rough edges. It's not straight cut all the way through, but it kind of feels like what I think is what onion skin is like. It's got imperfections in the paper. It's got a beautiful texture. I may try some fountain pen artwork in it at some point, but I'm not. I'm going to have to wait until I need to locate a fountain pen I have that actually has a little L bend to the nib, because I don't think that'll scratch on the paper, and this paper feels like it could get fibers up inside the nib of the fountain pen. And most people that know me know I really like to do fountain pen work, but this one I'm going to start with something different. I have here, these are Japanese and Chinese Sumi ink brushes. I use them for Sumi ink and for watercolor. I'm thinking of using about maybe 4 different ones on a page and just see what I come up with. I'll be painting with this. It's traditional Chinese ink. I thought of using some of my own homemade ink, but not right now. Maybe another time. I think I'm going to go ahead and use this brush. This is a synthetic blend. It's got kind of a nylon or some type of synthetic fibers on the outside and horsehair on the core of the brush. It's a handmade brush. That one is actually not Chinese, it's Japanese, as is this one. I've never used this brush yet, so this is going to be a first for me. But I have used this one, and that is made out of rat whiskers, which seems awful, but they made stuff out of all kinds of animals. This is wonderful for like landscaping, for certain strokes, like what they call horsehair stroke. I think I will also use, this is similar to the first brush I showed you, except that it's a much finer brush. It really can get to a small point. And then I have one here, real fine, and that is made out of horsehair as well. So basically it's 2 horsehair brushes that have a synthetic outer part, a rat whisker brush. And you know what, that's not it, where is it? This is it. I may go ahead and use this. This is made out of wolf's hair, and I may use that. I don't think so, but we'll see. But the rat whiskers are really good at some strokes. The horsehair is really good at other strokes. And we're just going to see what happens. So I'm going to get set up to go ahead and do a painting in the book. And I look forward to it. I really am excited to see what comes of it. And I will let you know how that experience was. So thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoy.
Well, here I am. Gonna be doing a painting. I like the way it turned out. I looked at that wolf's hair brush and I decided I wasn't going to use it. I still put it in the water to get the bristles just in case. But I'm just going through the two synthetic with horsehair cores, and they're going in the water, get nice and wet. There's the horsehair one. And then I'm really surprised at how much I used the rat whisker brush. I had called one of the strokes I did that I do use a lot of the horsehair stroke. That's not true. It is horse tooth. Anyway, there's the ink, and I'm pouring it into my little palette, if you call it. Had a little trouble with that cap. I'm going to have to wash that cap and the spout for that ink off. Got some ink on my hands, but that's nothing new for me. I am always getting ink on my hands in one way or another. Anyway, just testing out the brushes, making sure I've got good ink coverage. I do test it out quite often. I'm starting with the smaller of the synthetic horsehair composite brushes, and it was working pretty good. If it were a bigger piece of paper, I might have stuck with it. I went ahead and I switched to the rat tail. That's this one now, very quickly. That's that horse's tooth stroke that I use a lot. Anyway, I was putting in a little tree. I just put one little tree. This is not very big paper, and that's okay. It doesn't need to be. I also thought about it after I'd done this. I showed there, it did not bleed at all. It never showed up on the other side. Put a little rock, there's a waterfall. That's what this is basically going to be. Fixing up certain parts of a tree. And then what I needed to do is make sure there was a big difference between the cliff face and the face of the waterfall. So I'm definitely making a difference here. Little rock formation going up, and I will add that to the other side as well when this gets going. I have several thoughts about this particular paper. First of all, what an incredible gift. Thank you very much, Kari. I just really cannot believe that this is been given to me. It's a beautiful gift. The paper's exquisite. There was no bleed. It didn't bleed through to the other side. Where I put the ink, that's where it was, and it stayed there. And that is something I've appreciated very much with good paper, and especially where ink and watercolor are involved, because they have a tendency to bleed a lot. And I love the way this, I've done similar scenes to this a lot. The light source is coming from the upper right hand side of the picture, so things need to be shadowed in a certain way. There is the little fine detailed horsehair brush. I wanted to do some real detail work, and I used it quite a lot when I get to some background trees that I was going to put in. Here I ran into a little problem. I had a little too much water in the brush, but I corrected it later on, and that's fine. Just clumping some leaves together on a quick tree, very simple tree. Nothing really exquisite or fancy, but it made it look a lot like a tree, and I appreciated this paper, how easy it was to work with on that. Putting in some foothills in here. I'm also drawing in the shoreline, but then I started this forest. I really liked the way this little tiny pine tree went, so I had to put in a bunch of these. And it was as if they were coming over to the left-hand side and just disappearing around the rock face that was over there on the far left. Just simple lines, real quick and easy, down and dirty. Some tall, some small. I really enjoyed the process of painting these trees in. I thought it worked well, and I thought that overall this drawing hung together pretty nicely. That's something I really liked. It is a little small. I usually try to go a little bit bigger, so there was only so far I was going to be able to get with it. I might see if I can find a really fine tooth brush one of these days, and a fine haired brush one of these days. Here I went back to the rat tail brush, really dried it out, put some mist effects there where the waterfall ended, tried to put in a little bit of texture on the water. Anyway, I really enjoyed the process of this. The whole drawing took about, I don't know, 30-40 minutes, maybe 35 minutes. And this is sped up 5 times, so that was very nice. It did take me a little while to figure out if I wanted to add anything more, and all I wanted to do was add my signature. This is my first name, Walt, but it is in what is called alien script, which I sign all of my ink, especially drawings, so most of my watercolor paintings as well, but they all get signed in alien script. This is a red paste. I have a couple stones here. This one has initials of my name in alien script, and then the second one that I will be stamping on here is one I put on all of my drawings, even if I don't use my name, and it is the Japanese word for peace, and I will put those on all of my ink drawings. So this is very good. I loved the process. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, share, and especially subscribe. I would appreciate that. God bless you. Love you.